So I want to tell you about an event that failed. 9 people signed up, 2 people showed up, and the person running the event had no audio. The audience couldn't hear a word that she said. After a minute or two, the 2 people that did show up left, and the event was over before it even began. So here's what happened next. She didn't quit. She didn't cancel the whole idea. She decided to sit down and record a 15-minute version of the same presentation as a video. She emailed everyone who had signed up and apologized for the technical difficulty. Out of the 8 people who watched the video, remember, this was a failed event to start, 1 person emailed back and immediately said that they were ready to become an early adopter of her product. That's what some would call a failure, but it's actually the system working just as it's supposed to, just with some unexpected bumps along the way. Here's what I've seen that stops most businesses more than anything else, whether it's marketing, product launching, business growth, sales, hiring, building systems, whatever it might be. And that's the pursuit of perfect before doing anything. The website has to be perfect. The presentation has to be polished. The offer has to be dialed in. The tech has to be working flawlessly, tested immensely. Everything has to be ready before we let anyone see it. And so nothing ever ships. Or if it does ship, it ships so late the momentum is gone. The energy is died. And the business owner is mentally exhausted simply from the preparation. I'm not a software developer, but there's a concept in the software world called shipping. The idea is that the value doesn't exist in the code that's still being written. It exists in the code that's been deployed, and it's actually being used by real people. That same principle applies to everything you do in marketing. An imperfect webinar that happens is infinitely more valuable than the perfect one that never does. A video that's slightly off script that gets posted is infinitely more useful than the one that's sitting in your draft folder. A campaign that goes live with decent creative beats a campaign that never went live because the creative never was ready or was never perfect. One of my foundational beliefs in marketing is this, is we can't optimize what we never delivered. Optimization makes things better, makes things more effective, it makes things more resonant. And guess what? It all requires data. And data comes from the things that have actually been put in front of real people. You don't know if your headline works until it runs. You don't know if your offer is compelling until enough people see it. You don't know if your presentation is going to land until someone watches it. That thing you're trying to perfect in isolation, it's all based on assumptions anyway. And the market will tell you very quickly and very honestly which one of those assumptions were right and which ones need to be adjusted, but only if you give the market something to actually react to. It's been said that Jeff Bezos had a version of this inside of Amazon, that if you're not embarrassed by the first version of the product, you waited too long to launch. Now, I'm not saying go out there and throw crap against the wall to put garbage in front of your audience or your prospects. I am all about quality, if you know anything about me. I'm all about professional presentation, if you know anything about me. But there's a zone that lives between not ready at all and perfectly polished. And that's where most things actually belong. And that zone is called good enough to learn from. The way I think about that in our world is in what we call sprints. A sprint is a defined period of time, could be 2 weeks, could be a month, where you commit on shipping something, a campaign, a content series, an event, a lead magnet, something that goes out the door in front of real people, real buyers, real marketplace. And at the end of the sprint, you assess, what did you ship? What did you learn? And what are we going to optimize for in the next sprint? This rhythm, ship, assess, improve, ship again, is really how marketing momentum is built. It's not through big launches that go perfect. It's through consistent, iterative, forward motion. And I first learned this in college, long before I was ever in the marketing space, long before I really truly had the most success I've had in business. And I learned it from a company called Toyota and the principle of Kaizen. It sits as a through line to everything that we think about and do. We don't get every campaign right. We don't get SEO right every time. We don't get AIO and AEO and all of the things going on with AI right now. We're learning just like everybody else. Meta changes things, Google changes things. It's happening for us just like it's happening for you. But this idea of continuous improvement can only happen when we put something in the marketplace to get the data on. Think about your favorite TV show. The writers don't get the first season perfect, but they get it made, they get it aired, and it gets feedback. And then they iterate it for the second season and the third and the fourth, and if they're lucky to go on to 5, 6, and 7. That process only worked because they shipped the first season, even when it wasn't the best version of the story they wanted to tell. So if you're sitting here right now and you're sitting on something, a presentation, a webinar, a lead magnet, a content series, a campaign, and you haven't sent it out yet, let this be your permission to ship it. Ship it. Not because it's perfect, but because the version that ships is the one that actually can work. You can't steer a parked car. Get it moving, learn from what happens, and do the next version better. I'm Darrell Evans, by the way, if we haven't met. This is the MindShift podcast. Go ship something today.